Good day and welcome. I'm Timotab and today I'm going to solve Half Windsor Knot by Jean. If you would like to try solving this puzzle, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 to 9, once each in every row, every column, and every box. Renban. Digits on a purple line form a non-repeating consecutive set in any order. So given we've got some length 3 Renbans, so that could be 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Once we've figured out the digits that go on there, it doesn't matter which order they're placed on the line. Entropic lines. Any 3 adjacent digits on a peach line contain a low, a medium, and a high digit. So if this were a low digit and this were a medium digit, then this must be a high digit. And the low digits are 1, 2, 3, medium is 4, 5, 6, and high is 7, 8, 9. And projected sums. Clues above and to the left of the grid give the sum of the digits on lines in that row or column. So these 4 digits here, they will sum to 16 because they are the digits that are on lines. Okay, I am going to reset the puzzle to restart the timer, and let's begin. Okay, let's start in this row, I think. So, these digits, which are on lines, sum to 30. Now, let me tell you about the secret of Sudoku. The digits 1 to 9 are placed in every row, every column, and every box. And the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45. So the sum of the digits in every row, column, and box is 45. Therefore, we know that if this row sums to 45, but we've used 30 of them on these lines, then the remaining digits must sum to 15. And there's only 2 ways to make 15 in 2 digits, and that's 6, 9, or 7, 8. So we know that those digits come from there. All right, now I think this line is looking interesting. Placing extreme digits on a Renban can be quite forcing because then there's no option for the other digits. So can there be a 9 on here? If there were a 9 on here, then the other 2 digits must be 7 and 8. But if that is a 9, 8, 7 Renban, then both of these digits have to be 6, which breaks Sudoku. So we know that there's not a 9 on here. Can there be an 8 on here? If there is an 8, then we already know there's not a 9, then that must be 6, 7, 8, which makes both of those 9, so that doesn't work. So can there be a 7 on here? We know there's not 8 or 9, so if there's a 7, it must be 5, 6, 7. That removes 6 and 7 from these cells, leaving an 8, 9 pair, but 8 and 9 do not sum to 15, it sums to 17, so there's not a 7 on here. All right, 6, 5, 4. Is the next option. So if that's 4, 5, 6, that means that 6 is removed from both of those, making it a 7, 8 pair. Where does 9 go in the row? If 9 is here, it goes with 9, or if 9 is on this Renban, it goes with 7 and 8, which would then break that cell, because we've just said that that's 7 or 8. And if 9 goes on one of these 2 cells, or in one of these 2 cells, then it goes with 7 and 8 to make the line, and that breaks that there. So these are from 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 5, and there is definitely a 3 on the line. Okay. How does that help? So okay, if 9 is in one of these two, say, then this must be a 987, that's a 6, and that's a 9. So 9 can't be on one of those two. If 9 is on one of those two, that's 987, that's 6, and that's a 9. So 9 can't be on one of those two. Therefore, it is on one of these two, and that's a 6-9 pair. Okay. And now, one of these two must be a 9. I think. Hang on. So if that's 9, then this can't be 7, 8, 9. That could be 9, 7, 8. Well, this has got an extra line in it. Maybe I'll do better looking over here. If this were 9 with 7, 8, that would have to be 6. So, right, one of these is a 7, 8 pair, right? Because I must have a 7 and an 8 on one of these two, but I can't have a 6 or a 9. I'm either missing a 6 or a 9, but if it's a 7, I have to have either 5, 6, 7. Oh, hang on. 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. All right. 8 has to be on one of these. If 8 is on one of those, it goes with a 7 somewhere else on the line. And that means that one of these lines is either 9, 8, 7, which would make its corresponding unlined digit a 6, or it has to be 6, 7, 8, which makes its corresponding digit a 9. So one of these two sets is going to be a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, but I don't know which one yet. But if that's a 6, then 9 must go on the line, right? Yes, so one of these two is definitely a 9. So 9 is in one of those two. Right. That means that 9 can't go here, 3 is not on there, so my middly digit, no, that's not what I'm thinking. I was about to think in terms of a different kind of line, so never mind. So my low digit on here is not 3, my high digit is not. Oh, this can't be 1, 2, 3, because that would leave me no low digit to go on here. So we can remove 1 from there and we can add a 4 to the definite digits on this line. That's nice. So now what does that tell me? So 1 goes onto one of these Renbans that I've coloured. That's what that tells me. So I've got a 1, 2, 3, and the other is 7, 8, 9. So where does the 3 go? It must go in one of those. That is a 9, 3 pair, because it can't go there because of the 3 that we know is there. So if this is a 3, we have a 1, 2 pair there, and if this is a 3, we have a 1, 2 pair there. That removes 2 from there. So that's a 3, 4, 5 line. That's really, really nice. So the middle digit on here must be a 6. And so 9 must go up here. So these are 1, 2, 3, all 7, 8, 9. So that's 1, 2, 7, 8. And that's 1, 2, 7, 8. Okay. How does that help? What about these digits? So if this is 1, 2, 3, that's a 6. So I could get a 4, 5. No, if this is 1, 2, 3, that's a 9. Yes. If this is 7, 8, 9, that has to be 6. If this is 1, 2, 3, that has to be 9. Um, okay. I have 25 on lines here, which leaves me with 20 to go in these 4 digits, these 4 cells. But I've already used a 9, so I've then got 11 in 3 cells. What are my options for 11 in 3 cells? 11 in 3 cells is 1, 2, 8. Uh, 1, 3, 7. 1, 4, 6. Well, it can't be 1, 4, 6 because 4 and 6 were already used here. If it were 1, 3, 7, that would place the 3 here. Then I'd have 1 and 7 on here. Can I have, what about without a 1? So 2, 3, 6, which I couldn't do. 2, 4, 5, I couldn't do. Is that right? without a 1. If I don't have a 1 on my 11, then my options are 2 plus something adding to 9. That's part of it. So 2 and something adding to 9 would be, I can't have 2, 1, 8 because we've already said that we're not using 8. I can't have 2, 2, 7 because that repeats the 2. So 2, 3, 6 or 2, 4, 5. Can there not be? Oh, but I can only have one of 1 or 2 on this line. So there must be a 1 or a 2 in here. But, so the options were 2, 3, 6 or 2, 4, 5. I can't have 2, 3, 6 because I've got 3 and 6 here, so that would mean that both 3 and 6 would have to be here. And I can't have 2, 4, 5 because that would mean that both 4 and 5 would have to be here. So there is a 1 on here, and there is a 2 there. So I now have 10 used up here with a 1, 9. And so I've got a digit there plus that makes 10. And what are my options? It's going to be I can't have 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. They're already accounted for, so it's going to be 7 or 8, which makes this a 2 or a 3. But if that's a 2 or a 3, this can't be a 1, 2, 3 triple. That's great. So that's a 7, 8, 9. That's a 6. That's a 9. That's a 3. That's a 1, 2, 3. I think my coloring has done its job. So let's remove that. So the high digit on here is 7 or 8. So that's 2, 6, 7, 8. And this is 1, 9, 7 or 8. Okay. So I can't put 8 here or here because that would break. Yeah, if 8 were here, then 7 would be with it because there's a 9 in the box. And then that would break this line. So 8 can't go there or there. 8 can't go there or there. So 8 could go here with 7 there, which would put 7 there and 8 there. Okay. So 8 is here or here. Okay. 6 is definitely up here. What does that do for us? Right, can 2, right, 2 by sudoku goes in one of these 3. So if 2 is there, but we know 1 is here, then that has to be a 2, 3 line, and that would break that cell. So that's where the 2 goes. And now, in order to, we've got a 1 and a 9 in here, in order to sum to 20 in total, this has to go with an 8. So that's a 7. Sorry, that removes the 7. Okay, nice. All right, so that's 189. So eight actually now goes here or here. and 7 goes in one of those three. Okay, if 7 is on there, that's a 6-7 pair. If 7 is here, that's a 7-8. That all seems reasonable. If that's 6-7, then that would force 8 there, and that would be 4-5. Hang on, one's in one of those two. All right, this is 3-4 or 4-5. That places, by sudoku, 4 there. So that's a 4-8 pair. And now this must be either 5 or 7. That can't be a 6. It could be 6-5 though, couldn't it? That's 8. That's 7. 6-5. By sudoku. 3 is not there. 3 is on this line. All right, this is a 1-5 pair. This is 5, 6, and 7. Okay, that is not 6. But we could have this going either way. So 5 with 4, making this 6-7. Or we have 7 with 8, making this 5-6. Okay. But we have made some significant progress. And we now have a minimum of 10 here. Okay, let's have a look. Can this be 7-8? If that's 15, that's 16, then this is 10. But this has a minimum of 147, which is larger than 10. So that cannot be 7-8. So that is 5 and 4. This is very nice. That's 8. That's a 6-7 pair. So now, so 147, 1-5, 6 must be on here. So 1-6-7 is now the minimum, making that a 2, or 2-6-7. So how does that work? Let me think. Or it could be 3-6-7. Let me think. So we have minimum of 10 here. So that means that this is at most 16. We know we have a 6 here, so the other two digits have to add to 10. So we either get a 1-9 or a 2-8 or a 3-7. We definitely have a 6 there, and then we have 1-9, 2-8, or 3-7. Okay. But that removes 6 from here. Now, every 3-cell Renban has to have a 3 or a 6 or a 9 on it, I think. 1, 2, 3, going up 3, 4, 5, yeah, then 4, 5, 6, yes. But this can't be 3, 6, sorry, this can't have a 6 or a 9 on it, so it has to have a 3 on it. Okay, I've basically done that clue. Let me mark that as done. 26 I'm still working on, but it's given me some progress. This 25 clue, let me just double check I've got that right. 6 and 4 is 10, 7 and 3 is 10, and then 5 is 25. Yeah, that's done. That's not going to change when I resolve those. Okay. So, this can't have a 6 on it. Could that be 7, 8, 9? Yeah, I think it could. Could this be 7, 8, 9? Ah, no, it can't. Right, where does the 9 go in this box? It can't go there because if the 9 is on here, then that breaks that cell, because this will be 7, 8, 9. And can't go here by sudoku, so it is on here. That is a 7, 8, 9 triple. That's very nice. That's from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1 and 2 cannot be here. I can't put a 1 on here because I'd need a 2. I can't put a 2 on there by sudoku. So 1 and 2 are definitely in there. So this is from 3, 4, 5, and 6. And 4 and 5 are definitely in there. And if 4 and 5 are definitely in there, then that makes that 1. That makes that 5. Okay. That could be a 1-2 pair. Right, 9 is in one of those. These are from 1, 2, 3, and 4. That tells me that that is medium or low. So that's medium or low. Okay, one of these three is a high digit. This is a high digit. So I must have a high digit on one of these three. But that can't be a high digit, so one of these two is a high digit. From 7, 8, 9. How does that help? Not entirely sure. Right, none of those can be high digits. I've got exactly one high digit there, so I have two high digits here. one of them could be on there, so that doesn't really help much. Do I need to look at another? So this here is 1, 2, 3, or 6. Ah, that can't be a 1, because that makes this 1, 2, 3. And then where does 2 go in this box? So that's not a 1. That can't be a 2, because now that we know that 1 is not on this line, because 1's in one of these two, then this would be a 2, 3, 4 line, which would break that cell. So that's not a 2. So this is a 1, 2 pair. Okay, that's nice. This can't have an 8 on it, because it would be 6, 7, 8, which would break that cell. So 8 is either here or here. What about 7? That could be 7, 5 with a 6. That would make that 8. That would make that 3 or 4. Okay. Don't see why I can't do that just yet. All right. Maybe it's this. Right, my middle digit is a 6. My low digit is a 1 or a 2. Because we've established that 3 is over here. So, what does that mean for this? So we've got 4, 5, 1, 2, and 6, and no 3. So that adds up to 15, 18, and then another digit that must be our high digit, which is an 8. All right, so there's an 8 on here. This is a 6, 8, 1, 2. With a definite 6 and 8 on here. So that means that 7 is in one of those 3, and that's 6. And that's 7. Okay. So So 2 low digits are here, and the third low digit must be there. This can't have a 3 on it, so it's got a 1 or a 2 on it. Right, we have 7 and 9 in there. And we have a 3. That's okay, that's a 3, 7, 9. triple. The middly digit on here must be a 4 or a 5. The low digit is a 1 or a 2. The high digit is as yet unresolved. But if it's an 8 or a 9, oh, wait. Okay. 8 must go into one of these 3 cells by sudoku. We've got a definite 6, 8 there. Right, so 8 is in one of those. Let's try an 8. But if this is 8, then these 3 are a minimum of 1, 2, 3. That makes 14, which is too much for that. So that's not an 8. Okay. All right, let's have a quick look here. These 2 digits are from different entropic sets. Right. So let's color that green. We know that that's from 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6 because it's not 7, 8, 9. This we know is different from green because they has to be from a different set. We know that this is different from green and purple, so because it also has to be a different set. Now these 3 have one of each from each set, but it can't be purple or teal, so that must be green. And now these 3 are from one of each set, so this must be purple. Ah, I think I've just spotted something. Yes, purple can't be 7, 8, 9 by the column. Green can't be 7, 8, 9 by the column. So that is 7, 8, or 9. Okay. Now, if this is from the middly set, it is 4, because 5 and 6 are gone. That would then make this from 1 or 2, because it would have to be the low set, and 3 is taken. Okay. In any case, these 2 are a low and a medium. So that could be 1, 4. That's 5. Plus 8 is 13. So in order to make 16, I would need that to be a 3. So this is the minimum. Right, the minimum here is 1, 4. If this is an 8, then 8 plus 5 is 13. So the most this can be is a 3. But it can't be a 3 because that would force this to be a 6, and then that has no fill. And it can't be less than a 3 because 1, 2 are taken. So that's not an 8. So 8 is there. That means that that is not an 8. Okay. So now the high digit has to be here because I can't put 7, 8, or 9 in any of those cells. So that is 7 or 9. Okay. I'll still keep the corner mark for the column. So now this has a 1 or a 2 on it and a 4 or a 5 on it. So that's from 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay. So if that's a 1, right, I have a virtual 1-2 pair there. So I don't have a 1-2 there. So I either have a 1 or a 3, sorry, a 1 or a 2 on this line by sudoku. But if I have a 1, I must have a 2, which would break this. So this must have 2 and 3. That removes the 2 from removes the 2 from there, and that makes this a 2, 3, 4. Nice. So that makes this, if it is low, it is a 1, and if it is high, it is 6. Sorry, if it's middly at 6, can't be high. Middly is, no, it's a 5 or a 6. Okay, so that's a 1, 5, or 6. These digits are from 7, 9, and 5. Move the corner mark now. So those aren't 5s. So my middly digit on here is 4 with a 1 or a 2. That's the low digit. By sudoku, this is 1, 5, 6. That removes the 1 from there. So it's 2, 4. That's a 1. That's a 2. Okay. All right. How does that help? Oh, I should have seen this earlier. If this is a 3, then it has to be 3, 4, 5, which it cannot be, because that breaks that cell. So that's a 6. So that's not a 6. I can remove the, didn't want to do that, but 3, 4, 5. But it can't be 6, 7, 8, because that would mean that that cell is broken. So there's definitely a 5 in one of those two. This column is 9, 7, 8, and 6. Is that helping any? Maybe, maybe not. All right, if this is low, this is 4, because that's the only medium that's left. So if that's 1, that's 4, that's 2, and that makes 7. If that's 1, that has to be 4, because it's the only middly that's left. That now has to be 2 by sudoku. That's 7. In order to make 16, I would need a 9, but that can't be a 9. So that is not a 1. So that is middly. So that's 4, 5, 6. These are from 1, 2, and 3. Nice. All right. So now, what do we have here? We have, so it's either 5, 6, 7, or 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this 13, I have a minimum of 4, 5 here, that's 9. Yeah, the smallest those two digits can be between them is 9. That would leave 4 to go between these two, but I can't make 4 in those two. So the maximum of these is 4, but it has to be less than 4 in the two digits. So that has to be a 1, that has to be a 2. That's a 4. That's no longer a 4. Still doesn't resolve this, but that's not a 1 and that is. So now these two digits have to add to 10. Can't do that with a 7 here. Can't do that with 5 and 5. So that has to be 4. That has to be 6. That now has to be 5 in order to make the Renban work. That 6 makes this a 5. That's a 6. Okay. This is very nice. This 4 makes this 3 and this 4. And that makes this a 1, 2, 3. Triple, that is a 7 or an 8, but by the 8 in the row, that must be 7. That makes that 9. That's 8. That's 7. This is 9, 8, 6, and we know where the 6 goes. That 7 and 9 makes this a 3. One and 2 makes this 3. In fact, the 1 makes that 2. That's 1. These two digits are 4 and 5. This is from 7, 8, and 9, but it's not a 9, so that's a 7 or an 8. Okay, this 6 means that that is not 6. All right, let's do some tidying up here. That's not a 1. That's not a 6. That's not a 9. Okay, so I need a low, a medium, and a high here. Not quite sure how to do that yet. Oh, I have some lines I haven't finished off yet. All right, let's have a quick look here. We have completed that one. That adds up to 16. We have completed this one. That 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have broken it. Nice. No, I'm looking at the wrong digit. 4 and 6 is 10. 1 and 2 is 13. We have completed that one. Okay. So, where's our next best look? All right, this column, I think, is 13. That's a 6. So these three have to add up to 7. So that must be a 2, because it can't be a 7. That can no longer be a 5. So if this is 2 and 3, that's 5, that has to be a 2, which it can't be. So that's a 4, that's a 1. That resolves the 5 and 4 down there. Okay, and now this clue is done. 7 plus 6 is 13. Yep. Let's mark that off. So we have a minimum of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a maximum of 6. So this must be from 4, 5, or 6. But it can't be a 4. That's our middle digit. This is our high digit, which is a 7 or an 8. That 7, 8 gives me a 7, 8 pair there. That makes that 6. That makes that 7. Makes that 1. So now we have 7, 8. These two have to add up to 8, and there's only one way to do that. That's 3. That's 5. That's 5. That we don't know, but that's not a 5, so that is. But now we have completed this clue. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 digits missing from this sum. That's not a 1. In fact, we can remove a 5 from there and place a 5 there. So we've got 2 digits missing from this sum. So 36 to 45 is 9. So these two have to add to 9, which has to be 7 and 2. That, once I've resolved all of the sudoku, will complete this clue. So let's do exactly that. That makes that 8. That makes that 9. Those are not 9s. That's a 6. Oh, that's 8. That's 1. That's 9. That's not a 2. That 8 makes this 7 and 8. All right, and now we should be able to do this sum. That's 10. That is 11, making 21. That's 29. And I need 3 more. So that's a 3. That makes that 4. That's 2. This is now 3 and 4. Okay, that 8 makes this 7. 9 and 7, and 9 and 8. These 3 digits are now from 2, 3, 8. That's not an 8, that's not 3, that's not 2. These 3 digits are from 2, 4, and 7. That's the 7. That's the 2. That's the 4. That makes that 8. 3 and 2. That 8 makes this 9. This 8. 3, 5, and 6. And I've broken it. Haven't I? No, not 3, 5, and 6. 3, 6, and 9. So that's 9. This is 3. This is 6. Very nice. Yeah, no, that was quite a challenge. But it took me a little while to figure out the interactions, but I really, really liked how this row we were able to whittle down to remove 9, 8, 7 and 6 from here. And then yeah, there was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was something that forced a 1 onto one of these two, which then helped resolve things. Oh, maybe it was, I remember that this 20 that was the leftovers helped me resolve that the 1, 2, 3 couldn't be this one, and therefore was this one. Yeah, that's really nice. Challenging. One of the more challenging puzzles that I tend to show, but fun all the same. Thank you very much, Jean, for making it. If you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.